think 'em. And for what Catherine tells me, you can use chemical assistance.
What was she investigating?
She was trying to make a connection between the Ripper's murder victims.
So you're like a deck jock, then? Are there any new innovations in cyberspace I should know about?
Well, notional engineering made some big advances, but the basic idea is still the same. Most of the angels you meet will be pre-packaged product from Trans-Tech or Rembus environment. Only the ace angels can design their own wings.
So there shouldn't be any surprises waiting for me?
I didn't say that. I mean, it's just that things will look familiar. Everybody you meet will either be a rendered image or a video image that looks awfully real. Of course, you only get video from the best hackers or from direct brain images.
What do you think about the ice soap?
Why are you so worried about ice?
I have a feeling it's going to get worse.
Your girlfriend had the same feeling. There's some really bizarre stuff on the net these days, ever since Rembus came up with that software with the Ice Maker program. You know, anybody with a deck can construct their own ice.
Bizarre stuff.
Oh yeah, attack dogs, giant rats, minefields, monkey balls, you name it. I can't tell you how to prepare for that world, brother. You's on your own. Still digging for dirt on your girlfriend, Quinlan? You got to keep an eye on a woman.
Object scanned into database.
Who goes there? Murderer! Murderer!
Of the English language, maybe. I'm just a journalist.
Beware you. I've got weapons here that can render you helpless.
Relax, old timer. I'm not here to hurt anybody. I'm just after some information.
You, sir, stand in my domain, and the question is, who are you? Speak quickly.
I'm Jake Quinlan from the Virtual Herald.
Quinlan. Quinlan, I know that name. You're the one who speaks for the Ripper.
No, I don't speak for him. He just writes me letters and we print them. They're news. But who are you? I thought the owner of this house was dead.
One of them is my twin brother, Hamilton. And he finished what he called the most fascinating project of his life. And then I found him, shot dead right here in this room. And I thought he'd just fallen asleep.
What did the police tell you?
The police, bah! I'm sure they're in on it.
Do you think the police are in on your brother's murder?
It's obvious the way they were rooting around in Hamilton's work. Kept asking him for his well address and threatened to lock me up if I didn't tell them. But they got nothing out of me. They took away cartons of his discs, but they won't find anything there. Hamilton was too smart for them too.
Was the cop a guy named Magnotta?
Yeah. I should have vaporized him. You'll get nothing out of me.
I'm sure. Why don't you tell me about your brother's work?
You don't know? He was famous. Or he should have been. He built virtual worlds. Places from history and locations from the future. And you walk through them in cyberspace like walking through the corridors of time itself. And he was a genius like Leonardo.
What was he working on in the end?
As I told you, mum's the word, as he would say, and all I know it was something involving stranger research than usual. And he came out of cyberspace one night and he told me he'd spent the day in an English music hall. And that's all I can remember.
Wow. Who was your brother working for?
What makes you so sure that I know?
We all confide in someone. A brother's a good place to start.
I don't know. Hamilton.
Hey, you all right?
He's dead.
I know, it's hard. But you must have some way to at least find out who he was working for.
My brother thought that he was protecting me, I suppose. Yeah. Of course, how's the killer supposed to know he didn't tell me everything? Besides, I'm trustworthy as the day is long. It's not like I'm gonna tell anyone about his secret hiding places.
Excuse me, what are you talking about? What about hiding places?
You know about the hiding places, huh? Well then, you know more than I do. Hamilton was like Leonardo. I tell you, with devices and concealments, components hidden in secret compartments all over the blasted house. If I could just find them, I could plug them in and get his, well, address. But I don't know where the hell half of them are anymore. Maybe I should just clean the whole place out and move.
But in other words, I have to locate and unlock secret compartments in this cottage to find the address to Hamilton's cyberspace well?
well, yeah, that's the idea. Doubt you're clever enough to do it, though. Doubt you can do it. You snoop around too much for your own good. I'm more dangerous than I look. I warn you.
Another antique. The Woffords have quite a collection. I see these old guys don't get around to fixing things.
Virtual Dynamics Operating System.
Exit cyberspace. Wofford Well.
This is really strange. Books, pictures, and references to Victorian England. The old man must have been constructing a virtual Victorian environment at the time of his murder. But why? Apparently, the Woffords did most of their notional modeling in this well. The virtual tools of the trade were apparent. But what caught my eye was the scale model of a virtual city that was stored here. Apparently, the Woffords did most of their notional modeling in this well. The virtual tools of the trade were apparent, but what caught my eye was the scale model of a virtual city that was stored here. A scale model for what looks like a Victorian city.
Exit cyberspace. Monitoring Helen 1, Circus Maximus. Blood pressure 120/7.
You must be Jake Quinlan looking for the Falcon.
How do you know who I am?
Gambit called ahead. It's strange. Burton usually sends Dr. Cable whenever she's in trouble.
Oh, news travels fast.
I guess.
Pulse 58.
Tell me, Twig, is Eddie as good as his rep?
Best I've ever seen, and I'm no amateur.
Monitoring Helen 1.
He can deck for days straight and keep sharp. No paranoia, no mental fatigue, no loss of rationality. Of course, it doesn't hurt to have someone like me, cooking for him.
Cooking. You keep him drugged.
Hey, even an archangel like the Falcon needs medication. Extended decking, very hard on the dendrites, man. And they took us. Lots of sitting.
I could imagine.
Blood pressure 120/70.
Where's Falcon Eddie?
Not a simple question. He's usually in two places at once.
Respiration normal.
Tell Burton and Cable they gotta beg in person for Eddie's
Monitoring
aid.
Helen 1, Circus Maximus. Blood pressure.
Don't play games with me, Circuit Head. Lives are at stake. See, I don't have time to trade one-liners with a goddamn glorified houseboy. You don't give me Falcon Eddie in 5 seconds, I'm gonna email your address to Detective Magnotta, and you won't be dancing with any shadows in a maximum security prison.
Blood pressure 120/7.
Don't blow your motherboard because Burton's getting lazy. That's her problem, not mine.
Respiration normal.
The Falcon is playing in one of his wells. The address is Circus Maximus.
Blood pressure
I'd suggest trying a different approach with him if you're planning on cooperation.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
My pleasure.
Monitoring Helen 1, Circus Maximus.
What's with the shadow?
Blood pressure
Like him?
20/70.
He's a movement model for a sea-space doppelganger I'm developing. If it all works out,
Respiration.
it'll give me true multitasking capability. This is just practice, of course. The real thing will be
Monitoring
in
Helen 1, Circus
cyberspace.
Maximus. Blood pressure
Excuse me.
120/70.
Sensors itch.
Pulse 58. Respiration normal.
You're really beginning to be a pain in the ass.
Monitoring Helen 1, Circus Maximus. Blood pressure 120. cyberspace. Falconetti Circus.
Looking for Falconetti? Well, I think you got him.
What the fuck is going on here?
It's a 40 gigabyte virtual environment. Made it myself. Pretty impressive, huh? Think of it like a game room, and you're my favorite toy. You're called the Answer Doll, and the idea is I throw a knife, and you answer a question. Who the fuck sent you? Ah, shit!
Harley, at the Medicog morgue.
Bullshit! Claire sent you.
Ah! This has nothing to do with you. I have a friend who was attacked by the Ripper.
The Ripper. Someone who's almost as good with knives as I am.
She needs your help.
Before I help you, you gotta show me what you're worth in cyberspace. I'm gonna work with you. I gotta know you can handle yourself.
What are you gonna do? Give me a test?
I'm gonna run you through a course, see how you shoot. You shoot a bad guy, you get a point. You shoot a good guy, you lose. My score was pretty damn high. Beat it and we'll talk.
Oh, fuck!
Cowboy. Reckon you can fly with a falcon after all. How's about you and me back at the Hacienda?
Now, you wouldn't be lying to me now, would you, Eddie? Because I've been to your house, and you weren't there.
And just because you can't see me doesn't mean I'm not there. Talk to Twig. He'll be expecting you.
Exit cyberspace. Monitoring LN1, Circus Maximus.
Play straight with me, Twig. I'm all played out. I want to see your boss in the flesh.
Relax.
Pulse 58.
He wired me on the Ethernet. He's on the other side of the door behind me. Once I open it, though,
Monitoring
you're on your own.
LN1, Circus Maximus. Blood pressure 120/70. Pulse 58. Respiration normal.
Christ, I feel like a fucking corpse. Lucky for you, I had to come up for air. Hey, Twig, you lazy piece of shit! What kind of cheap-ass nootropics you feed me? I can barely keep up with the data transfer in there. I wonder I lost that fucking contest. All right, hotshot. What do you want?
There's this detective named Magnotta working the case. Won't tell me much.
You say Magnotta? Christ. He's worse than fucking criminals.
Sounds like you know him.
Know him. I know him. I know I'd like to blow his fucking brains out.
Well, how did an outlaw like you hook up with a respected doctor like Burton?
Mean she didn't tell you? Babe has the hots for me. Has for years.
Does she? What's your take on the Ripper, Eddie?
Holy shit, I just realized you're the one he writes to. He's the only reason to read the rags. Fucking guy's incredible. He gets in there, paints a room in blood like Jackson Pollock on crack, and gets out without a trace. And that's buzzing about this psycho.
You sound like his #1 fan.
I can't get the guy out of my head. His stealth, his tools. I've been collecting knives for 30 years. I don't have a clue what kind of blade he's using.
My friend and partner was attacked by the Ripper.
If you're going through all this for a woman, I assume you're doing her. Do crazy shit for love, don't we?
Yeah, I'm beginning to think so. What's with all these knives?
Well, for one, I'd say they're sharp.
I didn't mean that.
Oh, I see. I collect knives, and there's a serial killer loose. Knives equal killer, right? Gee, I heard you reporter types were smart, but heck, you're way over my head here.
Okay. Look, Eddie, why don't you help me out with Catherine?
Why should I risk my ass for you?
You could piss off your old enemy, Magnotta.
Here's the deal. I've been in cyberspace for 80 hours. I gotta collect from 2 bookies, eat a big steak, and dine for some real food to sweat these cheap-ass nootropics out of my system. It'll take a couple hours. I'll meet you at the ICU later. Then we'll see what a genius can do about your babe.
Great. I'll see you there. I was beginning to think I was in a bad mystery novel where everyone did it. It was also beginning to look like I didn't know Catherine as well as I thought I did. The private sources, the research she'd been up to, and the secret meeting with the Ripper. And she never told me a thing.
I'll see if the doctor's available, ma'am. Hold one moment, please. Hi, Quinlan. No word on your squeeze. Burton's keeping all the paperwork to herself for some reason.
Did Falconetti show up?
Yep. As a matter of fact, they should start fighting right about now. They don't usually take this long. I just wish they'd do it and get it over with. Hey, how come you never came back to see me on my break?
I'm here to see my girlfriend, Vince. She's in a coma, remember?
What do you know? A guy who's faithful. Go on, run off and see your girlfriend. See if I care. Call me if she croaks.
I heard that.
I said no, Joey.
Before. No, Joey, no.
I don't want you here. I don't want you in this hospital.
You gotta let me do my thing. I can find out what happened to this babe. Besides, you always call me in on these. If you don't this time, it's gonna look bad.
No kidding. You think it's an accident that Magnotta brought her here?
Fuck Magnotta. Should have clipped his wings years ago. He's gonna try to pin this whole fucking thing on me.
Or me, which is why we do it my way, and I say no.
No what?
Yo, Quinlan, tell Dr. Burton here to let me save your friend.
What's Falconetti talking about?
It doesn't matter. I'm not letting him do the procedure.
How long have you all known each other?
Look, Quinlan, it's personal. It has nothing to do with Pal's case, believe me.
What thing are you talking about, Eddie?
Decking into this chick's consciousness. I can access her brain just like I can a computer.
Well, what good is that? She's in a coma.
She's not brain dead. Her essence, her personality, whatever, it's all still in there. I mean, if I could just get at it, there's a chance I could even rebuild her memory.
It's not that simple. For one thing, you don't know for a fact how much of her essence she's retained. For another, you have psychological ice to deal with. You'd be fighting her mind. The strain could kill her.
You knew Magnotta years ago.
He was a very different man then. He used to be a scumbag. Now, he's a scumbag with a badge.
Why would he try to pin the murders on you?
He's got to pin it on somebody to make a buck. I guess he thinks I'm an easy target.
Is your method dangerous?
Were you kidding? Of course it's dangerous. We're not talking about accounting databases here. Decking into an organism's a lot harder than linking into a machine. You can't be overriding shit. You gotta watch where you're digging around. Emotions, memories, potentially very damaging. It's worth the risk, though.
Well, how do you figure?
I can rebuild her memory. I can make that image so real, you'll think it's breathing. You'll be able to stare the killer right in the eye.
Well, that would save Catherine and anybody else the Ripper had on his list. I mean, what's the real reason for preventing Falconetti from doing this, Burton?
Do I detect a little Magnotta in the reporter's line of questioning? Do any damn thing you want. I'm going to the gym.
Good. Starting to look a little flanky there, Claire. Tighten up those buns, baby. You ready?
What do you mean? We're gonna deck to Catherine's brain now?
Damn straight. You can really get to know your girlfriend now. Here's the deal. With both of us being in there, it's gonna take everything I've got to maintain a link between us, to isolate a pathway to whatever's left of her consciousness. If her brain starts throwing ice at us, you're gonna have to fight it. Think you can handle that?
I think I can.
Now here's what you gotta do. Burton and Cable have been feeding her as much of her personal background as I can. You need to bring her up to speed on what she knew when she was attacked. Use the information about the Ripper you think she may have known. That'll help her rebuild her memory. Right now, she's not even verbal. The more information she gets from you and Burton, the more she'll remember, the more she'll be able to tell us.
She looks so real.
That's because everything you're seeing right now is streaming directly from her brain, unmediated by any software. That's her as her own mind's eye conceives herself. Be prepared. When you get close to her, you're gonna change. You'll look just as real. Not bad for a first-timer. Was it good for you, too?
You kicked ass in there.
No shit, Sherlock. Now, if you'll excuse me, I got about a month of girly mags to catch up on.
Excuse me.
Hey! What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. This place is off limits to unauthorized personnel.
I'm Jake Quinlan from the Virtual Herald. Who are you?
I'm Bob Epples, the new pathologist, and I'm not to speak with you, Mr. Quinlan.
Well, what are you talking about? Where's Farley?
Mr. Farley is no longer employed here. He was let go.
He was fired. Where is Farley?
I have no idea where Mr. Farley is. But from what I've heard about him, I suggest you look for him in a restaurant. One that specializes in fatty cuisine. Do-do-do.
Why was Farley fired?
I didn't ask, but I got the feeling that Mr. Farley liked to talk a little too much, and I don't plan on making the same mistake, so please leave, Mr. Quinlan, before someone sees me talking with you. My boss finds out you're back, I'll be fired. Now get out!
What do you got? A cot in the back there, Quinlan? Here's my stuff. I'm going into interrogation, Brannon. You know, little police work. How's the coffee, Sarge? Nice and hot.
Guys got balls so big they collect the gum on the floor. They do. They drag. Soho Precinct, Sergeant Brannon speaking. What's your problem? Chekhov, I'm talking to you. Right. Don't call there anymore.
Any new developments, Lou?
Sure, but nothing's getting us closer to the Ripper.
Like what?
Like earlier today, Magnotta pulled 2 cops who have been on the Ripper case since the beginning, replaced them with new guys. Now that's bound to set the investigation back.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's what I say. I know. Tell me about it.
What's the buzz in the precinct on Falconetti?
Word is that outlaw's mixed up in this somehow. Magnotta's pulled the hard copies on all of Falconetti's records, and he's had passwords put on computer files. There must be something there he's looking for.
Or maybe something he's trying to hide. Lou, what do you know about the Hamilton-Wofford murder?
I haven't followed the case. I don't know much about the guy except that he did some work for the precinct some years ago.
What kind of work?
Magnotta hired him, I don't know, 5-6 years back to build a virtual target range for the cadet cyberspace training.
So Magnotta knew him?
Yeah, that's probably why he took the case on, even though he's got his hands full with the Ripper. Not now, Quinlan. It's not a good time.
I'm not a fucking dealer, man. Those were legal dosages for my personal use. I'm holding down like 4 jobs at once, man. I need the fucking mental clarity, okay?
See how much clarity you have when I'm done with you. Those senior citizens you sold that Lucidville B to had severe arterial hypertension. 5 of them popped blood vessels in their heads. Now talk, fuckhead. What are you looking at?
Enough, okay? I sold those fossils some Lucid B, not my fault they had blowouts. I mean, what are you making a big deal out of this for? It's not like they weren't ready for the big sleep.
It's touching to see you feel so deeply. They say underneath the skin of every junkie runs the blood of a poet. I wouldn't know. I'm just a cop who loves his job. No performance now, Mother. I'm in rehearsal.
Files are locked. Looks like I need some kind of ID card to open them. Vince Magnotta's personnel file. Could make for interesting reading. Catherine never was any good with numbers. Pretty clever. A neat little place to store surveillance bugs.
So this is what you're gonna do? Beat the shit out of me? You like beating up girls?
You know, girl, sweetheart.
If you were a real man, that'd be a compliment.
Ooh, cut me. Let me tell you something. I'll be the worst customer you ever had.
Fuck you.
You think I got time to be polite? I could break every bone in your body.
What do you want?
What do I want?
What do you want? Never been roughed up like this before.
Yeah? Wow. Count your blessings. Ooh, here comes a blessing now.
Magnotta will never even notice the bugger's there.
Metacog, hold on. Hey, Jake. Saw your story on the last murder. Look, you know I was just kidding about your squeeze croaking and all, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, God, man, it must have been awful. And I'll tell you something else. Magnotta's been looking for you. I mean, I figured you should know, because he is not the kind of guy I would want looking for me. He isn't even the kind of guy I'd want to look at me.
Is he here now?
He just left. Coast is clear.
Thanks, Viv. I appreciate it.
Not enough you don't. But you're welcome just the same.
What's a cybersurgeon need with an anatomy model? Well, that fits in there nicely. Dr. Burton's prescription pad.
Object scanned into database. Object scanned into database.
Salisbury. I wonder what that means. A copy of Advanced Notional Modeling.
I expect you in my office tomorrow with your work completed, Mr. Wendell. Good day, Mr. Wendell.